Hello people, welcome back. So another setup, another day. We are at the end of F1 2021, less than a month to go for the F1 22 to be released. So yeah, let's have some fun and get some hot laps in, just get some you know reference of how fast we've grown from the past till now, and see how we can carry forward these skills into the next game. So as for now, championship update, if you haven't known already, we have won the constructors championship, so hooray to Team Mercedes. And I believe if I just attend the next race and you know uh, have a lead of 42 points with 2 races to go, we have 20 point system anyway, so uh, I might win the championship as well. But to spice it up, since my teammate is in P2 and no one else is in contention for the championship anymore with 3 races to go, I am gonna kind of quit, and I'll be commentating with my co-admin over in the MSRL channel. So hope to see you there. Our links will be in the description. Check us out every Saturday 9 p.m. Malaysian time. All right, that's +8 ahead of UK. All right, so if you want to check us out, sure, feel free to drop by. And let's quickly get into the setup that we have for Bahrain. Bahrain, again, a track where there's a lot of straight line, and also there's a lot of slow corners, technical corners as well. Aero preference can change from person to person. Generally what you will see is an 810 setup on most people. This is pretty good actually if you want to go for a very long stint, like a medium to soft to medium kind of thing. It will look after your tires even better, and in sector 2 it's kind of easy to follow another car. But the other thing is, ERS regen on a higher aero is gonna be a bit crappy if you're not in your DRS train, unless you're in clear air. Maybe you can manage it somehow without spamming battery, but in clear air it's a bit harder. In DRS train it's much easier to save with higher aero. Either way, I'm running 7.9 for my setup. This is what I ran for my league race, the season 1, not season 1, the round 1 of season 4. I ran a 7.9 wing setup. Transmission was a 90-55, right, left geometry as always. And suspension, I have remade this just for this setup currently. The previous setup, the old setup, was a 1-4-2-4-2-6 kind of shenanigans, kind of weird. But again, the thing is, I've dropped the front roll bar so that I get more turn in, and I've reduced the suspension so that the car doesn't kill me when I take the curbs. So to compensate for the rotation, I have increased my roll bar to, as it is, 1.6 is it? I kind of forgot now. Let me just reload the setup. All right, here we go. So 1.7 it is. So baseline is always 1.6 on the roll bars. I have just increased it 1 click just to get a better feel of the car. So 1.7, just nice. Brakes on 160, tires on 23.4 on the front. Again, tire pressures, you want to make sure you do not overheat the tires. So if you feel you're overheating the tires, you can definitely drop them by 1 click. Make sure you practice it out first, and if you're okay with it, go for higher pressure so that the tire wear is reduced. Higher pressure means less tire wear and also better stability overall on the track. High speed, low speed on the curbs, the car is going to be more stable. All right, so 7.9 is what I ran. You can also run 8.10 if you want, 8.9, 9.9, I don't know, but I wouldn't recommend going too high. Bahrain, you can run a higher rear and lower front, which kind of works around here. So 7.9, 8.10 are the ones that I'll recommend. Transmission 155, just nice, 55, so that you get a little bit of extra turn in on the rear in slow speed corners, especially like into turn 1, which is pretty slow, and then turn 4, it's also quite slow-ish corner. You want to make sure you have a little bit low off throttle so that your car gets turned in. And also turn 10, the dreadful turn 10 where it's downhill and you're braking constantly. It's easy to lock up there as well. And yeah, this helps to make sure that your car has a bit of rotation on the rear. Suspension geometry, right, left, left, left. pretty much the same thing as always. There's no real need to run any different rear camber here because there are still plenty of high speed corners, and also because we are running higher rear wing than the front, so you're going to be getting a lot of stability on the rear already. So keep it like this, you'll be good in the race. Now suspension, again, you can find a lot of time through this. You can make or break your setup. I tried 1.7 ride height. The problem is under acceleration the car just kind of snapping away, so perhaps it's a track specific thing or maybe just time trial thing. But 2.7, again, pretty nice to mount the curbs on the exit, on the entry, just nice. The car doesn't spin out if you take the curbs gently or even slightly aggressively. Again, anti-roll bars, front is one to give you best turn in. Rear anti-roll bar is where you're gonna get your rear to move around side to side. Anti-roll bar generates side to side movement, so the stiffer it is, the better your rear turn in is going to be. So the higher you go, the more your rear is going to slide, creating rotation. You do not want to go too high though. Usually somewhere around 8 or 9 is pretty high already for any given setup. I'm keeping it at 7 because for Bahrain it's a track where rear tire wear is pretty heavy, so as you go on in the race, the rear is going to start sliding even more, and the only way you can control that is by offsetting the brake bias a bit forward throughout your stint. Otherwise for qualifying, yeah, just keep it as it is. Brakes 150 again. Like I said, so if your tires are starting to wear out on the rear a bit more than the front, or if you notice while you're racing, even if the tire wear is pretty balanced but the car is starting to feel a bit snappy, oversteery and whatnot, push your brake bias by 1% until you feel okay. Nothing more than 52 usually. The rear tire wear is not too bad here. It's not Baku bad kind of rear tire wear. It's still almost equal if you drive smoothly. And tire pressures 23.4 on the front. Like I said, this is to balance out the tire wear and also your tire temps, so use it wisely. If you need less tire wear, you can increase your tire pressure, but this will cause more tire temperature. Right, if you reduce it, it's going to cause more tire wear, but it's going to reduce your tire temperatures, so either way would work. All right, that's going to be personal preference down to your driving style. Now in terms of qualifying, the only thing you probably want to change is if say you go out for your first run in qualifying and you feel it's understeery, come back in for the second run, or if you're going for a mediums run, increase the front wing. This is very important because it's going to give you that extra turn in on the front that's going to help you, especially in sector 2, under braking and a bit on corner exits, just to point the car in the right direction. In the race start also, I will recommend starting on 8 if you're starting on medium tires. Otherwise you can keep it on 7 throughout the race. You can even practice and see, because when I did, I started on 7.9 on the heavy fuel. It felt pretty good, and then I dropped it to 6.9. Pretty nice wings for the soft tires to work at the end, or you can even leave it at 7.9 on the second stint on the softs, so that if you're chasing someone, then it's easy to follow them before you ultimately make the overtake on the DRS straights. Transmission, keep it the same as well. You'll be pretty good, and maybe you want to be using like 90 in the race just so you do not spin up the rears too much. Qualifying you can get away with using 100. And suspension geometry, you can't change this in park ferme. Suspension, no changes in park ferme as well. The only tip I'll give is if you want to adjust your setup one last time before park ferme locks it in. If you feel your rear is sliding a lot, you can reduce the anti-roll bar. That's going to help you get better traction as well if you're sliding too much, or if it's unstable in high speed. This is going to help you as well. You can increase it if you need more slidiness on the rear to get your car rotated. Either way will work. Ride height, I have tried 5, I have tried 6, kind of works actually. It's pretty nice here actually, but the problem is when it comes to the high speed sector 3, the uphill, the car starts to feel a little bit slidey. It starts to bottom out there. So in race with heavy fuel, your car is probably gonna spin out unexpectedly. So keeping it at 7 rear ride height is just nice across all tracks in this game in general. 2 front ride height. Normally I do not go 2. I like to keep it at 1. But given how I felt with this circuit, the car was kind of off balance a little bit with 1.7 ride height. So I put it up 2.7, and somehow it felt better. My turn-in wasn't compromised for some reason, and it went well. So brakes, you can keep it the same, and tire pressures, definitely consider going up 1 click or 2 clicks maybe for your qualifying run if you're on the mediums, because the mediums do not overheat that easily. On the softs, you may want to try 23.4 at the start. And then after your first run, if you feel they overheat a lot, you want to go out again on the second run for softs, drop it by 1 psi. If you feel they still have a lot more temperature to go before they start overheating, sure, go ahead and increase by 1 click should be enough for the soft. Mediums, 2 clicks will be good. You can even run full pressures for the medium qualifying actually. That works pretty nicely here. Yeah, otherwise, this is your setup. 7.9 or 8.10, 90, 55 or 155 on the transmission. Right, left, geometry. 11, 17, 27 on the right height, 150 on the brakes, 23.4 on the tires on the front, and the rear tires are 23.5. So yes, that's Bahrain done. Let's quickly save this setup, and we will probably be back very soon. And if you have checked out the previous videos, make sure you stay tuned, subscribe as well for the next ones. We are going to bring out a lot of 22 content, F1 22 content once it's out, figure out the setups again. In the meantime, stay alert, and I will be posting a few more setups just to finish up the list, or probably update some of my older setups. Baku is coming next, because why not, right? Azerbaijan GP is coming this weekend, and I would like to revisit this track and see how much I've improved from like 5-6 months ago. I hate this track actually. It's my worst track, but for time trial's sake, let's see how much improvement we have done, and see how we can improve the setup as well. So till then, take care, stay safe, and goodbye.